The very first thing I always teach when teaching any type of lettering style is the basic strokes. These are so important, and really if you can learn and master these, then you can learn and master lettering. So I just wanted to show you what we're looking at here. We have some basic guides that kind of are reminiscent of what you did in elementary school, but I was just going to tell you the names of these different lines. So here we have what's called the baseline. That's where the base of almost all of the lowercase letters sit. We have the waistline, think halfway up your body. That's where most of the lowercase letters come up to, where most of these basic strokes come up to this line. We have this ascender line up here. This is any letter that has a portion of it that ascends above the waistline is going to come up to that point. The descender line is any letter that has a portion of it that descends below the baseline will come down to this descender line. And then of course we have this angle line here that's going to help us get that traditional angle look that's traditional in calligraphy. So what we have here in the workbook is I have the different guides and some space for you to practice, but you also on the back of your workbook you have some tracing paper, or you can just get some Canson marker paper. And I love this because you can put it right over the top and you can see that you can still see through it, so you can do some tracing. The other thing with brush pens that you want to consider is the smoother the paper that you use, the longer your tip is going to stay intact and not get frayed. So if there's not a problem, you can do it on rougher paper, or you can letter directly on this paper in your workbook, but to prolong the life of your brush pen, smoother papers are going to be best, like this Canson marker paper. So this first one, we're going through all the basic strokes. This first one is called the upstroke, where you're going to start at the baseline and you just have a slight curve up to the waistline. So you trace the first one and then do a few more. Next we have what's called a downstroke. This one we're using pressure because we're moving in a downward direction. We're going to start at the waistline and we're going to go down to the baseline. So you can draw it right over that angle line if that helps, or just watch the angle line to help you get a consistent angle on your downstroke. So we've got our upstroke, our downstroke. Remember, moving up, we're going thin, down, we're going thick or heavy pressure. Next is the overturn. And what you can do is, if you want to save paper, to save some of your marker paper, you can kind of rearrange your paper as you go down so that you use all the space on your paper. So here we start at the baseline and we're going to use light pressure, come up, and we're going to transition to heavy pressure and come back down. So there's this little transition area that's happening here where we're transitioning from light to heavy pressure. So again, we start at the baseline, come up, transition to heavy pressure. This is an upside down U shape, and we still want it to follow that angle line. So you can have the angle line be right in the middle. You could start drawing on the angle line, but that's the overturn. If we slide our paper down, next we have the underturn. This one's the reverse of the overturn, where we're starting at the waistline with heavy pressure, coming down, release to lighter pressure, and come back up. For me, this is a harder stroke than the overturn because it's harder to get a smooth transition there. The key is to go slow. Heavy pressure, transition to light pressure. Next is a commandant. This is very similar to this underturn where we're starting at the waistline, but instead of going all the way down, this is where the baseline is. We're going to come halfway down. So we start with heavy pressure and then we just come up. Heavy pressure, come up. And if you get any spots like this where it didn't quite fill in, you can just go back and do a quick touch-up. Next we have the compound curve. This is a combination of the overturn and the underturn. So if we start at the baseline and we're going to come up to the waistline, transition to heavy pressure, transition to light pressure, and come back up. So trace the first one and then try a few on your own. And again, the key to these smooth transitions is going to be going slow. And even for me, that's hard. You want to go fast. We just want to get it done. But the slower we go, the better our transition from thin to thick lines is going to be. And lettering really is a slow and quite a meditative process. Next, we have an O form. This one we're going to start at the 2 o'clock position if the O form were a clock. So we start here, we're moving up with light pressure, and we're going transitioning to heavy pressure, transition back to light, and connect. So 2 o'clock, and we need to start at the 2 o'clock position because we have to have time to get into that transition to heavy pressure. And really what we want is something more in this range. If you notice, this one has a lot more of a weight and thickness here on the bottom. And it's called a soggy bottom. And what we want to do is just go a little slower and just make sure that we're transitioning all the way to light pressure when we're down here on the bottom. That's the O form. Next is the ascending loop. We start at the waistline. We're going to curve up to the ascender line, and we're going to come back down to the baseline. So again, waistline, light pressure moving up, coming down with heavy pressure. Again, I'm not sure why, but transitioning from a light to heavy pressure is easier for me. You may find that as well. And then we have the descending loop as well. I don't think we'll have enough room there. We're going to have to use this top section. We're going to start at the waistline. We're doing heavy pressure, transitioning to light pressure, and up. So heavy pressure, transition to light, and up. If you've never done any type of brush lettering, I would say that using a large brush pen is harder than a smaller one. A smaller brush pen is going to have a smaller tip, so it's a little bit easier to control and it's less flexible. But this is still totally doable and something that you can learn, especially if you're willing to put in a little bit of practice with these basic strokes. If you get something like this where it didn't quite come out right, you can just add another line to kind of finish it off, clean it up. There's one more basic stroke that I wanted to show you, and it's called a reverse O form. So if you remember on these O forms, we started at 2 o'clock, we worked our way this way. A reverse O form, we actually start more at the 7 o'clock position, and we work up, down, and connect. So we're starting here and working this way. So one more time, we start here, start here, work around, and connect. So this is going to be used on the letter B, K, and P. But those are all of the basic strokes. So anytime you go to practice lettering, I always recommend you spend some time here working on these basic strokes, getting more familiar and comfortable with them, because it's going to help you when you start to do your lowercase letters. I wanted to show you really quickly how you connect these strokes. So really what we're doing is we're just squishing them together. So if we take the letter A, for example, we would be doing an O form, just like we practiced, and then we would add an underturn to it, and that gives us the letter A. Say we wanted to do the letter H. We could do an upstroke, we could do an ascending loop, and a compound curve. And then we have the letter H. So we're just combining the basic strokes in different ways to make up almost all of the lowercase letters.